Hello everybody, SSA here, aka Super Suna Arashi, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you week 5 of the BBL Season 2 as we take on the Arkansas Razorwinds, who has been led by Coach Westside, aka James. Now before we actually going to start off this match, last week I did say that we are going to do some trades, and I will make sure that the trades are on the screen right now so you can, see what mons we brought and what mons we've dropped. And the mons that we dropped are Gligar, Tapu Lele, Tentacruel, Hitmonlee, Druddigon, and Furret. While we're bringing Galvantula, AutoMatthic, Seismitoad, Hariyama, and Naganadel in the squad. So we traded off like 5 mons for 4 mons. And Naganadel takes over the Sea Crystal that the Tapu Lele held. And I did this thanks to the help of Aaron2420 because Aaron really wanted Tapu Lele before, but he actually already did some trades where he really doesn't need it, Tapu Lele, anymore. But he still, sat around with me and talked what the best trades are for my team and what I actually can maybe bring that fits my playstyle a little more. So we have 5 new mons where we traded off 6. We traded off 6 mons for 5 new mons. That was it. I can't count. Calculating is always the biggest problem of me. But with this, I think that we now have a team that fits my playstyle more. The only downside is the rest of my whole squad, like the whole squad right now, are mons I haven't have any experience using. So going into this match, which Aaron also a little bit helped me to get adjusted to the team, we're bringing Galvantula, Lugia, Naganadel, Hariyama, AutoMatthic, and Torkoal, while my opponent is bringing the Mamoswine, Florges, Palkia, Yuxi, Celesteela, and Rotom Heat. I'm a little bit tired, by the way. I stayed up all night watching Fast Lane, so I'm a little bit tired. But my team is a lot different than last time because of the 4 new mons that we have from the 5, which are Galvantula, Naganadel, Hariyama, and AutoMatthic. Naganadel with the Fire Z, Fire Blast, for that Celesteela, Assault Vest, Hariyama for that extra bulk, and we have leftovers on AutoMatthic. Shock Berry on Torkoal, Lugia has leftovers as well, and then Galvantula had the Focus Sash, of course, for setting up the sticky webs. There we go. And looking at my opponent, I wasn't expecting the Florges. I sit around team building and I was like, there is a chance he could bring Florges, but I'm confident he's not going to bring Florges. I know he's going to bring Celesteela, and Celesteela is just a threat in general for my team, but I can work around with that. But the Florges could become trouble if, if we are in a dangerous position. The replay this week has been done by AutoMatthic, just like last week. I'm a little bit getting a cold right now, so that's why my nose is a little bit sticky. But he's starting off with Mamoswine, while I'm starting off with my Galvantula, and I was like, alright, I can set up the sticky webs, and it will all work out well for us in the end. I wanted the sticky webs up right away. He's going to Earthquake, which put us at 36 HP, and we're going to put up the sticky webs because I had the plan. I need to get the sticky webs ASAP, and I know he could have defog on the Rotom Heat, but just having sticky webs on his side of the field could potentially help me out in a lot. Now I'm going into Lugia, and of course the Earthquake will not affect on our Lugia, and here I was like, okay, I can try to put up the substitute and maybe, roost up the substitute away. Then we're back at Multiskull, and then maybe we can, have some fun shenanigans here. I really played Lugia well in this match. I only made a small mistake later on, but I will address to that once it's going to happen. As I said before, I'm going to roost up so that the Multiskull is back on track. He's going to Icicle Crest, and that is not going to break the subs. While in the match itself, when this happened, I was very surprised that it did happen, but later on I totally forgot about this, and that will actually hit me in the ass real hard. But he will going for another Icicle Crash, Ice Shot, and that will break the sub. Now I'm going for a Side Shock, and that is not going to do that much. It's going to do a decent chunk of damage to the Mamoswine, but it's not going to do that much. And I didn't want to risk, hurting my Lugia further on in the match. So my safest bet here was to go into the Torkoal, to put up the Sun Up, and to put, to actually maybe also put up the Stealth Rocks, maybe Toxic somebody, and just do some crazy shenanigans with the Torkoal, which, as you already may have noticed, as he's going to swap his Celesteela back into his Palkia, as you guys may have noticed in the last couple of weeks, I really began to like Torkoal thanks to this league. So Torkoal is a beast. We're going to put up the Stealth Rocks now on the Palkia. So now on his side of the field, the Stealth Rocks are up and the Sticky Webs are up. So looking at the beginning of this match, things were looking quite good for us. So then he goes into his Rotom Heat. Now I know the defog could be coming up, so I was like, okay, I'm going into Jax, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to protect, and I'm going to see if he is running defog. If he isn't running defog, I can then immediately go back into my Lugia and try to do the whole substitute roost and Calm Mind stuff to actually get my Lugia ready for this match. Like, it's already a monster as it is with multi-skull, but if I can actually set up with this thing, it could potentially, do amazing damage against my opponent. So the Sticky Webs and the Stealth Rocks on his side of the field are now gone, which kind of sucks, but I can still perhaps later on in this match put up the Stealth Rocks back or put up the Sticky Webs back if I play it out right. Now I'm going to substitute here, thinking he's either going to Toxic me or maybe even Hard Swap. He's going to Volt Switch. I could have kind of suspect that, but putting up the substitute, I can always roost the damage back later on. Now he's going into his Celesteela here, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to stay in on this thing. And later on, I could have stayed in, but again, I will address that later on in this match. So back into the Torkoal, because Torkoal is the easiest switch in for this Celesteela, as he's actually going to Heavy Slam, and that will not do that much damage. Look at this, it will do like 24 HP damage. That's nothing. Again, Torkoal is a beast. I might use Torkoal in another league once I get the chance to use it, but here I was like, there's no reason for me not to go for a Flamethrower here. So that Flamethrower is going to do a good amount of damage to the Yuxi, but with the leftovers, this is a problem for Torkoal right now, because he is defensive. He can now put up the Stealth Rocks. 1-on-1, I have a hard time beating this thing. The only thing that I can do is Toxic it to maybe whittle it down. So the Toxic will connect on the Yuxi. He's now badly poisoned, so that, kinda negates the leftovers recovery right here, and it will actually, put him on the timer. Now he's actually going to do the same thing with me with his Toxic on my Torkoal. So the same thing that I just said for the Yuxi also counts now for my Torkoal, which kinda sucks, but I have Heal Bell on Nia Jax to negate that for me. Now on this point, I'm just going to put my Stealth Rocks back, because Stealth Rocks, every little damage against his team is useful for us. So, and I have Rapid Spin on the Torkoal, so I can Rapid Spin my Stealth Rocks away if needed. Now he's going to use his Psychic on my Torkoal. That will do a good amount of damage, and here I Rapid Spin away my Stealth Rocks, or his Stealth Rocks on my side of the field. Now the sunlight faded, the sun is gone, so Torkoal needs to get out of here so I can, put up the sun later on in this match. The Toxic damage will do a decent amount of damage to the Yuxi, but at the same time, I don't want to risk, losing my Torkoal. So I'm going into Nia Jax here, the AutoMatthic, and he is actually going to put back up his Stealth Rocks. Smart move by him part, but me going into AutoMatthic here was at the right moment, at the right time. And here I was just like, let's just attack him and do a decent amount of damage. And he's actually going to U-turn. And I was sitting here like, please don't go in the one thing that I don't want you to go in right now, because that can actually... He's actually going to do that. He's going into the Florges, and I was like, I have no possible way to break this thing. Because as you guys may have noticed, I will pause it for a little bit. I have Toxic on my Torkoal, but I didn't brought Toxic on the AutoMatthic. My AutoMatthic set was Wish, Protect, Heal Bell, and Moonblast, as you can see right here. So there was no point, there was no chance for me, you know, willing this thing down with AutoMatthic. So my idea was, as I just go in here, my idea was, you know, okay, well, let's see what he's going to do. Okay, he's going to Calm Mind. I was like, that's kind of scary. That's really scary for my team, to be honest. And I went for a Heal Bell here. Now, I should have not went for the Heal Bell. I should have went into my Lugia right away. But I didn't. And at this point in the match, I began to panic. I was like, there's no way I can beat this thing. I went into my Naganadel. Now we have a Fire MC, and I was like, the only thing that I can do right now, oh shit, he's going to Calm Mind. Because in my head, I was like, let's Sludge Wave and maybe whittle this thing down. I did the calcs, but everything was pointing at me like, okay, even with a crit, it's not going to damage, but I need to do some damage against this thing. I Sludge Waved, it will not do a lot, and he's going to use Moonblast, and then Naganadel will be gone. And this is basically where my in the match itself, I was like, oh shit, what did I do? And then, you know, it got into my head. So I panicked. I let Naganadel gone, and I felt so bad about it. Now I'm going to use Fake Out here to do some damage, and then I will knock off on the Florges to get rid of his leftovers. And again, I could have easily gone into the Lugia right now. Just set up, substitute, Calm Mind, Roost, and one-on-one, you know, we win against this thing. But I panicked, and I sacked my Naganadel. And my Hariyama is now at a very low health. And now I decided to go into Lugia. So a very bad play from my part. And he's going to Synthesis up, which was very well done by my opponent, by the way. Very well done, because I couldn't touch him with Hariyama. So Lugia now here, I was like, okay, the only thing I can now do is Roost, Substitute, Calm Mind. And, you know, this is the part where, you know what, that is one of the reasons why this video is a little bit longer again than usual. Because we're at a stalemate again, where it's just like two fat mons, two special attacking fat mons, while my PlayStation 4 is disconnected, the battery. I will definitely speed this up. This is the point where it's just, you know, attack, damage, recovery, stat boosting. You know, my special attack felt here. This is the point where I will speed this up. There's no point for me not to speed this up. So I will see you guys once the Florges will go down through my Psyshock, because that is going to happen later on. But yeah, I will speed this up, guys. Alright, so here we are. I Psyshock the Florges after that tiresome tiresome moment in this match, with the disgusting moment in this match with Lugia and Florges. And at this point, you know, Asuka will use a Psyshock again, and that will make sure that the Florges will be gone. So at least we will not lose this match 6-0 if we're going to lose this match. And, you know, with the leftovers, the multi-skull is back. So in the end, you know, the only thing that kind of hurts me was the PP. My PP, you know, ran out. So here, I made another mistake. I panicked again. I went out against the Celesteela. Now, I still have the Torkoal, the Hariyama, and the AutoMatthic left besides Lugia. And what I should have done there is I should have just stayed in, because I was, you know, my stats were quite boosted. I don't know how much, you know, my special attack and special defense was in total, because, you know, the whole thing that I just went through again. But I should have just stayed in and 1-3-1 the Celesteela. Yeah, of course, it was risky if I would have done that. And yes, you know, it's not my playstyle, because I am more of a offensive type. You know, going through that whole thing with the Florges, that's every time I have to play like that, it hurts me, because I don't like slow matches. I don't like being still. I don't like being that stally. But sometimes you have to. But at the Celesteela, as I said before earlier, I panicked with the with Naganadel, and I panicked earlier with the Florges, and you know, that took me out of the match. And if I just took a moment of breath with the Lugia and be like, okay, maybe I can 1v1 the Celesteela, I could have potentially, you know, beat the Celesteela, and that would have worked out very well for me in the long run. But I didn't. I switched out. I didn't touch straight at that point. I was like, okay, I have to switch out. You know, Stealth Rocks were still up on my side of the field, and he's going to Toxic now. And again, I should have just stayed in with the Lugia, to be fair. And of course, the Earthquake will pop up the Shocker Berry, but the Shocker Berry, it will not matter. Torkoal is now also down, and at this point, Celesteela basically runs through my whole team. And well, he's gonna get the Beast Boost up. And now I go into my rush. My Galvantula was still there, but of course, Stealth Rocks on my side of the field, and I thought I could live it. Alas, I couldn't. So Galvantula will go down as well. Now Joe will come in. Joe will get some Stealth Rocks damage. And then, of course, I will fake out to do at least some damage. Small as it may be, every damage counts, and he's just going to Earthquake and demolish me here. So now Hariyama is down, and we only have Lugia left and AutoMatthic. So here I was like, okay, back into Lugia, and you know, Poison Stones will now go into the Yaska. I will roost up my Multiskull, and again, I could easily 1v1 the Celesteela here, because if I look back at this heavy slam damage, that's not doing that much of a damage with the Multiskull. And even if the Multiskull is gone, if we look at the damage, I will Calm Mind right now, and you will actually see if the heavy slam will hit again. It will not do a lot of damage. It will not do that much of a damage. So in the match itself, I didn't thought about it. As I said before, I panicked, so I didn't really had a perfect mindset. I wasn't calm-minded. Yeah, funny joke. But yeah, I was like not in the mood at this point. I was not, you know, I already was sitting there with the mindset of like, okay, I lost this match. Whereas I could have easily substituted here and boost back up on Multiskull, and then maybe put up more Calm Minds, and then 1v1 I could perhaps have taken on this Celesteela, and with that damage, as we can see that right there, I could have definitely taken on the Celesteela 1v1. So that is a moment that I've had after the match where I was like, I should have done that better. I should have done that better. But again, this is a very new meta for me, and so far, in my honest opinion, I'm using Lugia well. But there are moments where I just totally, I don't know, where I totally just have a blackout in the match itself, where I, totally neglect the possibilities of me perhaps bringing it back. Now in the PMC I have that as well. In the PMC we're doing a little bit better. We're 4-4 right now in the league, and in the BBL, the difficulty in the BBL, for my personal view, for my personal experience, is a lot higher, especially with the Uber's meta, as Lugia will now go down to the Heavy Slam from the Celesteela, and we have an AutoMatthic left, so you guys already know we're going to lose this match with 5-0, which sucks. This is the first bigger 4-0 loss in the BBL for us so far, and we're currently 1-4 right now, which kind of sucks, which means, it just means that we're going to have a hard time getting in the positive numbers. But yeah, I don't know why. Again, it's a new team, a lot of new mons I haven't have that much experience with. Okay, why is not? I don't want to have a black screen here. Let me actually change that. There we go. I don't know why. It's weird. I have those moments in a match where I sometimes just have a blackout, and as I said, I can't keep my head cool, and then it's just I'm basically battling against myself at that point. That's the most simplest way of saying it. You're battling at yourself at that point. So that is definitely something I need to learn more. But we didn't play that bad in the beginning. We played very, very aggressive with Lugia and with the Torkoal in the beginning. But after the Florges went in, I just again blackout, didn't stay calm, and I threw away the game basically. It was a hard time to actually beating his team in general, but we could have potentially bring it back if I just stayed cool in the match itself. But that doesn't take away that Westside coach of the Arkansas Razorwinds won this match fair and square. He totally deserved the 5-0 win because he took advantage of my misplays, to call it like that, and he just, also with the amazing prep on the Florges, by the way, I wasn't expecting the Florges. I predicted 5 of his 6 mons, and I was either expecting the Alolan Persian or the Mega Gallade in his team instead of the Florges. The rest of his team I had basically figured out. The only thing I was scary of was the Alolan Persian. So yeah, we're now, as I said before, we're now 1 win and 4 losses with a minus differential of, I think, -6 or 7. I'm not sure at the top of my head. So we have 5 more matches to go in this match. So during the second half of this regular season, we have a whole new team to work with. So I think for a goal is we should at least be able to get two wins. I'm going for 2 wins in the last 5 matches of this season, and for the rest I just want to play well. I just want to have entertaining matches, and I just want to, let the matches be at a close win or a close lose. I hope all the rest of my matches in this season will be like 2-0 wins, 2-0 losses, 1-0 wins, 1-0 losses, or something like that. Because in the end, I'm just here to get more experience. I'm here to learn more, and just to entertain myself and entertain you guys. Yeah, that is basically all I have to say. Again, I want to thank the coach of the Arkansas Razorwinds. His link to his channel and his side of the match will be in the description below, as well as AutoMatthic, who provided me again with the replay for this week in the BBL, as well as all the other coaches and all the social media accounts from the BBL. They will all be in the description below. Again, my apologies for this video being again a little bit long, just like week 2 against Aeron. Sometimes, Lugia is a Pokemon that will definitely make sure your videos will be over the 50 minutes. So if you want ad revenue, draft Lugia next season. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below, and hit the bell icon, because then you get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. And I will see you guys Sunday for week 10, no, week 9 of the PMC, and then next week, week 6 of the BBL. There we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!